Krause's Furniture was a manufacturer and retailer of custom-crafted upholstered furniture that opened in 1973 and closed in 2002.
This is Krause's Sofa Factory.
And this is one of our beautiful showrooms.
Here's where we build our own quality upholstered furniture.
And this is where we sell it at factory direct prices.
Because we build them better, we guarantee every frame, every spring, and every cushion for a lifetime.
And you get unbeatable...
Krause's Sofa Factory, originally incorporated as The Sofa Factory, was founded in La Mesa, California in 1973 by Coleman and Bernal Krause. At first, they built, sold, and delivered each of their sofas themselves. He decided to move the manufacturing operations and company headquarters north to Fountain Valley in 1975. As the business grew, they established a factory in Brea, California. The Krauses believed that prospective customers should be able to walk into a company showroom and pick out a sofa style and fabric tailor-made for them. Krause retired from the active running of the company in 1986 when he sold 80% of the company to a team led by Michael Gibbons and Robert and Aisha Kenmore, who were partners in a consulting business for $30 million. The sale brought in a raft of expansion-minded executives. They improved production methods and used a more corporate approach, stylish logos and using computers to handle everything from inventory to payroll. The company had 56 Krause's showrooms. Among them was Michael H. Solomon, who was president for 18 months. He eventually had differences with the owners and has since gone to head the stylish chain of 8 stores based in Corona. Krause's Sofa Factory had sales of $103 million in 1989, making it the largest factory direct sofa manufacturer in the U.S. and the 17th largest furniture maker in the nation. It also believed itself to be the largest combined retailer and manufacturer of custom upholstered furniture in the U.S. Its retail showrooms in 1990 averaged between 17,000 and 20,000 square feet in size to accommodate a representative sampling of 100 different sofa styles, each of which were available in 50 sizes and 1,000 fabrics or leathers. In all, the company was offering 8 million combinations of custom-made sofas, love seats, and chairs. Krause's Sofa Factory expanded out of California for the first time in 1990 when it opened 2 showrooms and a distribution center in Houston. By May of 1991, there were 67 showrooms, of which 46 were in California and 21 in 6 other western states. About 75% of its products were being manufactured at its leased 250,000 square foot plant in Brea. The company, however, was not doing well, incurring a net loss of $2.6 million in fiscal 1990 on sales that had slipped to about $86.6 million. In April of 1991, a subsidiary of Worth Corporation, Keegan Management Company, purchased 62% of the outstanding common stock of Krause's Sofa Factory for $6.4 million. Other investors also purchased common stock that resulted in a total net new equity of about $5 million for Krause's. With this cash in hand, Krause's Sofa began picking up other furniture stores struggling to survive in the recession-struck California. By the end of 1991, the company had taken over 2 former RB furniture stores in Seattle and near Mesa, Arizona. Earlier, it had occupied 3 former Furnishings 2000s locations in Southern California. Krause's also expanded its product line, adding more leather at the high end of the market furniture over $1,500, while also introducing a $399 promotional made-to-order sofas for the first time since the 1970s. The company lost money again in fiscal 1991, but the president said the figure was only about $1 million, less than the deficit in the previous year. Still heavily exposed to the struggling California economy, Krause's lost $3.4 million in 1992 on revenues of $87 million. Krause's sofa factory had long been planning an entry into the Midwest, and in December of 1992, Gibbons said the company would enter the Chicago metropolitan area during the following year. After that, he vowed, it would fix its site on the East Coast. The company's 5-year goal was 250 stores nationwide. Krause's California factory warehouse complex had expanded in 1990 to support up to 115 showrooms. After the Chicago stores were in place, the company would assess its production needs and likely would expand or facilities would be added to support growth. Krause's sofa factory move to the East Coast came sooner than expected. In May of 1993, the company acquired Castro Convertible Corporation, a privately held firm with 18 showrooms in the tri-state metropolitan New York City area and Florida, and annual sales of about $20 million. Like Krause's, Castro Convertibles offered a variety of frames and covers that customers could mix and match. At one point, the company had 2 factories producing 100 designs and selling sofas out of 48 showrooms in 12 states. But business shifted to lower-priced makers, and although Castro's showrooms and retail employees were retained, the remaining factory at New Hyde Park, Long Island, was closed, with production assumed at Krause's Brea plant. The acquisition raised the number of company showrooms to 87. In 1993, Worth Corporation purchased the remaining stock of Krause's sofa factory, exchanging it for its own stock in a transaction valued at $7 million to $7.5 million. Worth renamed itself Krause's Furniture, Inc. in December of 1994. Krause's Furniture was registering a high proportion of its sales from a relatively small percentage of product, yet production was based alphabetically by style without considering that 20 to 30% of the styles were responsible for 70% of the volume. Management changed this so that high-volume items would move through the plant first. This enabled the company to trim delivery time from 5 weeks to 4. After incurring a record loss of $10 million on revenues of $97 million in 1993, Krause's emerged into the black the following year, earning a net income of $5.8 million. 1986, Krause's furniture stores were upgraded, which in April of that year consisted of 83 company-owned showrooms and 4 franchised outlets. Decisions were made to show 30 or 50 styles at the most. The number of fabric offerings had been halved to about 500 by this time. They also began subleasing space in some of the larger stores to complementary home furnishing retailers. Krause started diversifying by selling occasional tables, lamps, rugs, and other merchandise needed to create appealing living room vignettes. Although Krause's furniture revenues rose in fiscal 1995, the company still lost $8.7 million. In August of 1996, Philip Hawley became the new CEO, and he continued the previous policy of upgrading the company's stores. The new showrooms, based on 3 already completed, were to feature brighter colors and better living, as well as displaying the sofas in living room groupings instead of arranged in rows as in a warehouse. The company was quietly changing the name of its main retail chain from Krause's Sofa Factory to merely Krause's with the subtitle Custom Crafted Furniture. Paying for this program presented a problem since Krause's Furniture in early 1997 ended another fiscal year in the red, a record $13.4 million on falling revenues of $113 million. By the end of 1997, Krause's Furniture was operating 83 furniture showrooms in 12 states, 69 under the Krause's name and 14 under the Castro Convertibles name. 41 were in California and 13 in New York City's metropolitan area, including New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. The other states with company showrooms were Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Illinois, Nevada, New Mexico, Texas, and Washington. Selling space in retail showrooms varied in size, but average sized was 12,000 square feet. Customers were able to choose from more than 60 styles and 40 sizes of sofas, incliners, recliners, sectionals, sofa beds, and chairs, which they could customize with 800 fabrics and 50 leathers. But over the next 4 years, the company continued to post losses annually, and the company responded by closing stores. 30 stores in California would be closed over that time. The public company, Krause's Furniture, had not been profitable since 1994. In 2001, Krause's Furniture Incorporated filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Later that year, the Hakakian Group acquired certain Krause's Furniture assets and created Castro Krause's Industries. The Hakakian Group planned on reviving Krause's and a handful of New York Castro convertible stores as a 40-store chain with a diversified product mix that included its own line of custom upholstery as well as more goods from other manufacturers. But the rebirth of the chain went awry. The company said it had a difficult time clearing out old inventory, partly because the public had been through such a sale before with the company, when its previous owners reorganized and then liquidated. But by early February of 2002, the new Krauses had reopened 29 stores. But the effort stalled, and then by that spring scaled back operations to just 11 Southern California stores. In June of 2002, Hakakian reorganized again, although this time outside bankruptcy court, and was asking vendors to forgive up to 80% of what they owed. It just didn't have a life anymore, the company spokesman had said. There were too many negatives and it took too long and required a lot more energy and money than expected. Many people felt that Krause's was a name people trusted for special order upholstery, but by the time the new owner was in position to target that customer base again, it was running out of money and people had lost their trust. Bad publicity, a tough economy, and the loss of some good people also hurt the company. Krause's retained Buxom Group to manage the liquidation process. Going out of business sales already were underway at the remaining 43 locations in California, Washington, Arizona, Colorado, New York, and New Jersey. The sales included inventories from 14 shuttered stores. On July 22, 2002, Krause's Custom Crafted Furniture closed its last remaining 11 stores in Southern California. Thank you for watching. If you like this content, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Thanks.